If you ain't a gator, you must be gator bait. If you ain't a gator, you must be gator bait.
Welcome back and welcome in. I got my man Silk back in here with me again. Got a game tomorrow. Might have some good news coming on Sunday. At least good news for some of us. But we'll see. That's to be determined. We'll see what the big man upstairs likes to do. How you doing today, bro?
Big man upstairs. You talking about Strickland or God? Who you talking about?
Maybe both. I want to see God brings a miracle to me on Sunday.
Yeah. But I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good. I'm be heading out to Gainesville first thing in the morning. Me and my son, probably like 4 or 5 in the morning. I want to get there as early as I can. Try to pull in about 8, 9. Yeah. I was gonna go Friday night, but a Billy Rand program isn't worth like crazy 3-star hotel prices in Gainesville right now. Yeah.
Them hotel prices are too much for this. For Billy, no, can't do it.
Yeah, 2 nights of this uncivilized.
Well, speaking of Billy, this is all opinion based, as we saw on Twitter. You know, I just want to make that be known that this is all opinion based. Do you think that Sunday, win or lose, you think Billy's out of there?
That's been the word, man. I think it would be wise. Like, it's getting a little toxic amongst the fan base and whatnot. I just don't see a reason to keep him at this point, man. So bye week is right there. A lot of things align and make sense. The new rule with transferring and when players can leave, they got to wait for the new coach to be hired. It's a lot in our favor. There's really no reason to keep him around at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that people keep looking. I keep hearing it. Just people talking. They're like, well, why fire him? Why fire him? Like, it's not going to make a difference. But I think it does. Like, and I think, to be honest with you, if Lane is an option, I think you saw just today with their athletic director up at Ole Miss saying, like, we're trying to get the Curt Cignetti deal, you know, and if we are an option for Lane, if we show, okay, we're serious about this, like we're firing Billy, he's out of there, and Lane actually wants to be in Florida, then he's going to be like, no, I don't want to sign that just yet. Like, let me hear what Florida has to say, because he's got the power. I mean, they're not going to be like, oh, you're kind of flirting with the idea of Florida, then go on. They ain't going to do that.
He's been flirting the entire time, so they know what's up. I think he has leverage. I think Jimmy Sexton is going to let him wait it out because it's just good for his agent, you know, to have leverage with negotiating. Even if to me, it just don't come down to money for Lane at this point, man. He's going to get paid wherever he goes. So I don't see a reason to jump on the extension. I think Lane's going to weigh out, you know, how do I end my legacy? How do I go get a national championship? What's my best opportunity to do that? And that's going to go more into it than I would say, you know, the amount of money in an extension. Either way, he's going to get paid.
Yeah. That's the thing. I think that he knows, honestly, with money, you're going to make money in this industry. You're going to make money regardless.
He's going to make money, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. 9 million, 10 million, you're going to make money. But the thing about it, I will say, you know, you got the market. I think we reset the market. If we get a big splash hire, if we get a Lane, we get a Freeman, I think we reset the market because it's going to have to come with the hefty price tag. But I think that someone like Lane knows if I go to Florida, just all that talent is just right there. All I got to do is you recruit a couple other areas, but you send your guys there, but you recruit Florida. Florida is filled with talent. There's no reason that this talent should be leaving the state. And I don't blame them for leaving the state. They don't want to play under Billy. Like, a lot of these offensive players don't want to play under that. But I don't know. I think it shows if you go ahead and just do it, win or lose. You know, it's not like a coach has never been fired after a win. They fired Jimbo after a win against Mississippi State, a massive win. I think it shows, all right, we're serious about this. Like, we're looking for somebody else. All right, he beat Mississippi State. Mississippi State's not that good. I think they're all right. Like, I think they're good, but they don't have the talent that we have. So I think that these players can outplay the play calling and then get Billy out of there and show that we're serious about football here.
Yeah, I think for me, I think it just comes down because I think they're serious about football, right? Mm-hmm. I just think they're making bad investments, and the guy that they brought in, you know, was just a bad hire. Like, you can be invested in something and it be a bad investment, right? You could be serious about your finances, but buy the wrong stock, buy the wrong house, etc. It's just a bad investment. But I think you just gotta read the room PR wise. Strickland, he's not getting the best and the greatest PR. The whole Billy Napier it's an eyesore right now a little bit. So I think just to get some good PR, and I think the fan base deserve it, man. We've been through a lot, and this Billy is tough. We want to see the offense and these young receivers run the field. Like Billy's gonna die on his sword. He's not gonna change anything. So I think it's a kick in the face to the fan base by keeping him around, because it's some coaching stubbornness that we've seen in the past. And at this point, let Russ Callaway take the wheel, go 4 or 5 wide, go out in the blaze at this point, right? So I just think you throw the fans a bone.
Yeah, I think it'll just calm the fan base. I heard you say that on the Stadium and Gale show, that it's just like it'll calm the fan base. It needs to calm them. Like, and that's the biggest thing. I don't think it's got to show that. It's got to show that you care about these people who are filling the seats. At the end of the day, that's where big money's coming from. These aren't the tickets. I've talked about this, that I have a ticket sitting in a picture frame right now. It's got Brandon James on the ticket. It's probably the last time they had actual hard copy tickets. And we were sitting probably row 5. It was $40. You sit row 5 right now, that it ain't no $40.
Oh no.
Like, that's not happening. So I mean, people are paying big money to go see these games, even with the product that Billy's putting on the field. I think you got to do it, win or lose, going into a bye week. Like, let's just go ahead and get it done. Because I think if he don't get fired before the bye week, I just don't see it happening. Not to the end of the season.
It won't happen. It won't happen. I think it's loud and clear. Things are getting leaked for a reason. I don't think the people that are in charge or around in an important fashion, booster wise, trust him to make the firing. So things are getting leaked. How many boosters was at the meeting don't matter to me. Right. It's just the fact that we know the boosters want him out, and there's some type of urgency they want this to happen under, right? That's the most important thing. But we'll see how it all plays out. I don't think he make it past this weekend. I don't think he should. I think it's time. It's over. It's time for the fan base and everybody to move on, man.
Yeah. And I think, I've been real big on this too. It's like kind of frustrating because everyone's looking at this day and age as even 5 years ago, right? Okay, you have a coach that leaves. Okay, now everybody just rapidly vanishes. Or they even look like when Saban retired. And then all of a sudden, like, it was like a mass exodus out of there. And you got people going to Ohio State, people going here. And I think people see that and they freak out about that. But I think that the people who everyone wants to stay, I think are pretty solid, in my own personal opinion. You got Lagway, who I think just loves the University of Florida. Personally, I don't think that it's necessarily. I mean, I think he loves Billy as a person, but I think he's dedicated to the university. Jaden Ball, yeah, we might lose him. I don't know, but he ain't from here. You never know what's going to go on with him. Right. But Dallas Wilson, he wants to be closer to home. Family means something here. Best friends with Vernell Brown. I don't see VB. I think Vernell Brown's he's set. I think I could go coach. And he's like, yeah, I trust JB.
I feel good about both freshman receivers. I feel good about some of the older guys may want to take their last couple of years and try. It depends on which coach we bring on. But if I'm a receiver in his lane, I'm sticking around like to see what's next. But I could see Bob maybe looking around. But a lot of these guys are just tied in from a business perspective. Like a lot of their NIL deals are predicated where they are as well, right? In certain markets, it's advertising and marketing. So it's just not that easy for these guys to just uproot and leave right now because of business situations, contracts, that type of stuff. So they're going to wait it out and see. Well, they have no choice but to wait it out to see who the new hire is now. So we'll see how it all plays out. If you make the right hire, I think the cornerstones of what's on campus will stay. You're gonna have some casualties, of course.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna lose some people. I'll be honest. I think it's gonna depend. I know that Cormani, I think he's technically eligible for the NFL now, right? After this year, I think this is his 3rd year. He had 1 at Colorado, 2 here.
Yeah, but it'd be wise for him to return. He's having a solid year, but I think it'd be wise for him to return.
some people I just know that they instead of worried about moving around again, they'll go test the waters. I don't think it's smart, but I think that we can keep this core of this team. Again, you go get a Lane, you go get a Marcus Freeman. But on the coaches talk, we all know. I mean, that's the timeline is filled with those two names, straight up filled with those two names. And then we know like there's a select few others that are in there. But if you have one just kind of off the wall pick, who would you say, like, who would you be okay with that's maybe not even like really talked about in the fan base a lot? Because it is. I mean, those are two names we're talking about. I feel like we're almost like getting ourselves hyped up overall. And it's like, you don't even know. Like, you have no idea that that's who they're going to go with.
Excuse my dog, man.
You're good.
Yeah, I think Rhett Lashley's a guy I like a lot at SMU.
Oh, yeah.
And this is just me spitballing. I like Rhett Lashley. It gets a little tricky after that, because there's not a whole lot of experience in the pool. So it's almost any name I say after Rhett Lashley, it's going to be probably. I know I probably got some kickback with Rhett Lashley, but if I say other names, everybody got their flaws. But if we miss on Lane and if we miss on Freeman, I would think like James Franklin got to be considered. Like just from a stable standpoint, somebody that's got some type of track record of winning. And him and Lane's track record is not far apart when you look at, wins, losses, top 10 losses, top 20 losses. All that stuff is kind of similar. Lane has a better offense. But if you've already missed on Lane, then what are we talking about? It's not a lot of proven coaches in the coaching pool right now, man. So I think without him having a buyout and all those type of things to have to get over, you would definitely have to give him a look. But I like Rhett Lashley. Matt Rule, that would just wouldn't be excited. I like how competitive he is. I like how he talked. I think he's a leader of men. But I don't know if he's a fit, and I don't know if he's a, somebody that can compete, I would say year in, year out with like the Kirby Smarts of the world. I don't know if he's on that level.
Yeah, I think with me, I got a couple. I think that Dillingham, he really, I don't know why, but he just.
I like Dillingham.
I think he's got kind of that it about him. I think that he's got that. I get it. Like everyone's dialed in on that Lane Kiffin is Spurrier 2.0. Like that's just, they're dialed in on it. And that's fine. I understand why. The cocky demeanor, the ego. I understand that. But honestly, I think that Dillingham kind of has some Spurrier about him too. But another name, I said this the very first list that I put out a few weeks ago on my Monday show, that Cliff Kingsbury, he kind of excites me. Now, does he want to come back and come and recruit again? Like that's hard because right now he just calls plays and he ain't got to worry about going all out and trying to recruit 365. I think that's my concern. But we've seen coaches leave for the NFL and then they come back and they do real well in college. But I think those are two that I'm real locked in on. I'd be 100% honest. I'm just James Franklin. I don't know why he doesn't do it for me. But Marcus Freeman didn't do it for me until I started listening to you talk about him. I was like, all right, bet I'm sold. Like I'm sold now.
He hires well, man. Like people got to remember what Penn State is. Like people give him a hard time. Oh, he didn't win big at Penn State, bro. I'm 43 years old. I've never seen Penn State win big. They've won the Big Ten 4 times. One of them is his. Those other 3 times they split it with Ohio State. Like their last national championship was in '86. Like, what are we talking about? They just not in the Big Ten. They're middle tier. It's Ohio State and Michigan, and then they're on the same playing field as a Wisconsin and Nebraska. That's what Penn State is. Joe Pa had a stretch from I think 2003 to 2000. I think like 7, where he won like 13 games. They won like 13 and 32 or something outrageous, right? Yeah. He brought them back to life. He's the second greatest coach in Penn State history. Anybody with that title at any program of that magnitude can coach a little bit. I think he hires well. His coordinators go on to get head coaching jobs, and he hires aggressively. He competes for like if a guy's not playing or a coach is not like living up to that play. To the standard, I've seen him fire a coordinator to try to get to that next level. We've seen head coaches come to the University of Florida and the defense is bad. but it's the head coach's friend, so they just keep bringing him back. The offensive line is bad, but just won't fire him because that's his friend. James Franklin fire people if the job's not getting done, and that's what I want, ultimate CEO out of the next coach, not somebody that bring on their friends and keep them around when the poor job is being done. So I like James Franklin from that standpoint. He wouldn't be at the top of my list for sure, but if I miss on Lane and Freeman, you got to be considering him in my mind.
So I'm gonna ask this question because I know how you feel about this name before I say it. I already know because I've seen you tweet about it. I've heard you talk about it, but I've never got to fully talk to you about it. What's the deal with you and Jedd Fisch? Just out of curiosity.
Don't do it. No, you just said James Franklin don't do it for you. Jedd Fisch does not do it for me, bro. Like I don't. We talk about not winning big games. I don't know what Jedd Fisch has really won, and then his record just gives me the Billy vibes, bro. Like his overall record. I don't think he's the guy to come in after something like what we just saw with Billy. You need more stability, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought Dan Mullen coming in after McElwain was good because he stabilized. He just couldn't recruit, but he did stabilize. He got back to winning, got back to what Florida usually looked like, explosive offense, good quarterback play. So I think like we got to at least get back to that identity, and get somebody that's stable and could get good culture that can do it all a little bit, right? Because his job encompasses a lot. Like you just can't be a recruiter because that's what Billy was, a recruiter and a culture guy. You just can't be that. You got to be the ultimate CEO at a place like the University of Florida. You got to have the cachet, and that's where you get the guys like Freeman. I don't know if Franklin has the cachet. Be real, he's just a safer pick once you miss on those top two. But I think those top two has the cachet to be a University of Florida coach. And it's just gonna come down to guys that's down to delegate, not control freaks. I like that. Even though Marcus Freeman is a good defensive coordinator and defensive caller, he still goes out to try to get a top-notch DC, even though he has a really good DC mind himself, right?
Yeah,
I think that's smart. Like you want smart men around you, bro. Lighten the load a little bit.
Yeah. See, here's my thing. It's the one thing I'll say about Jedd Fisch, and he's not near the top of my list. If he was to come there, I mean, I don't care who coaches the University of Florida outside of Billy, because now I'm just kind of like, I'm off on it. I'm still going to pull for a win tomorrow. I can't pull against the Gators. I just can't do it. But
never.
Yeah. But so Jedd Fisch, right? I look at this season, for example, his only loss so far is to the number one team in the country. And I'm pretty sure that a massive chunk of the country is going to lose to that team anyways. I think there's a few out there that could hang with them. Your Indianas, probably still your Oregons will hang with them. But the only reason that Jedd Fisch, for me, I don't even look at it in the sense of like what offense he brings or like any of that stuff. I look at it in the sense of he's an alum, and being an alum, I think you'll do more for what you love and what you're passionate about. And like that, you'll do more for it. The Kirby with Georgia, and I'm not comparing him to Kirby. Let me put that there real quick. But Mario Cristobal at Miami, Brent Key at Georgia Tech. I think you'll do more and be willing to put more on the line for your alumni, because it just means more to you. Like, that feeling, and he knows, like, if he was to come here, he knows Spurrier. You get that, advice from him. I don't think Billy would take advice from anybody. But he's, like I said, he's not near the top of my list. He's just he's floating on that top 10 where I'm like, all right, like if he comes here, like I get why they did it, and we'll see what happens. But I just want to
it'd be so many people that I get. I'd take Will Stein over Jedd Fisch.
Yeah.
There's just so many guys. Like, I think you got to infuse some type of excitement, and Jedd Fisch just won't do it. I don't think for the money people, like NIL wise, like this next move is very important. Even though we don't like the guy that's going to be making this hire, and we don't trust him with it, it is a very important hire. Just from a support standpoint, NIL it drives everything in college football right now.
Yeah.
And the fans and boosters are who heavily contribute to that type of stuff. So, if you have a dud of a hire, you could, lose something you're taking for granted, and that's just a rabid fan base. So I think this hire is very important. They need to go get a splash.
I think a lot of people look at, for example, I think a lot of people look at Todd Golden winning the Natty with Florida, right? And they're like, oh, well, Scott Strickland only cares about that, right? Oh, he extended Scott Strickland. I actually think, in the standpoint of him winning the Natty, I think that actually hurt Billy. Because I'm like, I know that Scott Strickland, he didn't get into being athletic director just because he's like, oh, yeah, cool, this looks like a good job to do. You got to feel something about sports to get into that area. And I just feel like if you're any type of into sports, you got to be somewhat competitive. And I may be just kind of tying all this or thinking too much into it. But do I think that I think in his brain, he thinks he's smarter than he actually is. I think that's why he goes and gets, like, this has been talked about. We got Billy. A lot of other programs wanted Billy. I wish they had got him, but they wanted him. He said no. We ended up finding a way to get him. So it's not that he doesn't care.
When they said no, like, I think when people hear it, they said no. They said no to what? Well, Billy said no because he couldn't get everything he wanted. Like Florida gave in. Florida gave him everything he wanted, which is why he got an insane buyout. 100 million staffers. Like, yeah, those programs said no to all of that, so it didn't work out. So he just stayed where he was at. So Florida was just the first to say, yeah, we'll give you all this support.
Yeah. And that, you got to do that for somebody else too. I think they know, though, is that you're going to have to cough up some money. If you want to go get a winner, like, I do not see the boosters care about that's the thing too, is that the boosters care about this place. There's a reason they're a booster at the University of Florida. Scott Strickland may not have previous ties to this university outside of him being an athletic director here. He's a Mississippi State guy, but my thing with this here is these boosters do care. And I don't care if there was one person that's been talked about that was in that meeting. Every single one of them that donates money, they care. And that one person that was in there is not going to make up all the money that everybody else puts in. So everybody else has an opinion. They may not have been in that room at that time, but I think that's why they're going to go get a splash. I think we'll see a lot too. We'll know about Lane soon. If they're trying to get something done in the next few weeks happens and something doesn't get done, I think that's because Lane's telling them no. Like, he's like, no, I want to hear what Florida has to talk about.
I think, like, this hire is being made under different circumstances as well, right? When he made the last couple of hires, or when every hire that's been made since Urban, a lot of booster opinions weren't heavily weighed into that. Like, the AD's kind of driven the hires. Now you have to consider that the boosters in this era of NIL, like, they fuel it, right? They make a lot of this go. So I think Strickland's not making this, and a lot of people are saying this, not just me. I'm not going to get into the sources bag, but Strickland's not going to make this decision himself. So, and I think the people behind the scenes, like the names we're hearing, I'm glad that I'm hearing those names, right? Freeman, Lane, but they also got to say yes. They also got to come to an agreement. They could definitely just use this as leverage to stay where they at, all of that. But Lane isn't who I think he is if he just signs that extension with Ole Miss. And he isn't who that Steve Spurrier stuff that everybody's saying. If he signs an extension and stay at Ole Miss, none of us have ever seen Ole Miss win a national championship. And we won't see it happen.
I think you can get people, like, there's people that are committing there, but you also see them decommitting and committing elsewhere. It happens. I think the thing is here, if you can show that you're a competent coach and you actually give some type of effort, I think that's why Mullen was so bad at recruiting, is because I just don't think he showed any type of care. And there's all these guys, they all pay attention. They watch the Big Three. They know what it is about growing up and watching football. If you can show that you're any type of competent, they're going to come there. I mean, people are still committing to Mike Norvell for some reason. But if you show any type of competence and you show that you can put something on the field, which a Lane can, a Freeman can, you really, honestly, you can kind of go in there and just be like, hey, yeah, we're going to offer you. They're most likely going to show up. But the way I look at it is, you're right. If Lane signs that extension, everybody needs to stop comparing him to Spurrier, because Spurrier would have never
Bottom
been
line.
satisfied with some nobody, you know. But I'm cool with either. I'm very big on it. The more I've looked into Freeman, I've listened to you talk about him. I've listened to others talk about him. I listened to him on The Pivot, actually, and that really sold me on him. I just watched that podcast, I don't know, 3 days ago, and I texted one of my buddies, and I was like, oh, yeah, like, I'm cool. If he comes, I'm good. Like, I'm
ultimate competitor, man. Ultimate competitor. I think he's super polished in a lot of different ways. He's ahead of his time. You know, he's super mature. I think he would be I think he would crush it at Florida. You know, I think he's just as sharp as like a young Muschamp, but Muschamp didn't hire well. That was Muschamp's downfall. He didn't hire well, but he recruited. I think the recruiting would be top 5, like people were saying in the comments. Freeman would absolutely crush it at the University of Florida. Those two guys have the whole country nervous. You know, like you're hiring Florida, get either one of those, the whole country is nervous with a coach that competent, that, you know, got that cachet to be at the University of Florida. Yeah. It's a different type of weapon on the recruiting trail. Now, Lane does have some things just to like, because you do, like, at this level, like when you're beating out a Kirby Smart, you gotta be, it's just not the product on the field. When you're beating those type of guys in recruiting, you gotta have that dog in you and want to just win on the recruiting trail. Like, yeah, every coach just is not that competitive on the trail. Like, some are really competitive on the field. Like, I thought, damn, others competitive on the field, but on the trail, he didn't take it serious. So you got to be competitive on the trail to, you know, be consistently winning and making the playoffs in 2025. You know, that top 15. It's a lot of parity, man. So you got to get as much talent as you can to separate yourself from the pack.
Yeah. I think it too is that not as much, like, it was definitely harder to recruit 10 years ago. Like, it was definitely harder because, I mean, we know they were offering money, but it was a different way of doing it. You had to be sneaky about it. Like, I stand on that. We know they were tossing around money. That's why what happened to Reggie Bush, but
well, it's no secret. That's why they just said, like, hey, man, let's just make it public. Let's start NIL.
Now they're like, we're just going to do it. But it's easier now because you can offer that money. So I feel like recruiting's so different now, and why you see different teams jumping up. Excuse me. But that's the thing too, is you're right though, because no matter what, with money that we're offering, someone else is offering that too. But now it's like you're closer to home. Like these guys from Miami, yeah, they may not want to go to Miami, but you can go to Florida. You're good, bro. Don't worry about it. But they're right here. That's why I think like a Lane. Now I will say this, and I know a lot of people, there's probably going to be, most of the people in these comments are going to say something about me saying this, but it does speak volumes that Freeman has been in the playoffs. Freeman made it to the dance. Did he win? No, but he competed in the dance. And that's where I look at.
He ran down on Kirby Smart in a very, you know, impressive way. Like they beat Georgia, not luck up and beat Georgia, not a bunch of trick plays and you know, the annexation of Puerto Rico plays, nothing. They straight up got in a dogfight in an alley with Georgia, and they came out, you know, the victors. I think he's a very good coach, bro. You know, the hires that he's making, like he poached big boy staffs for the guys he got on his staff. And you see a guy like Sider leave a friend over like James Franklin as co-OC, for him to be able to poach a guy like that to come to Notre Dame, and Sider had 3 NFL offers at that time. You know, he's a recruiter, not just of football players, but also staff, like older legit people like Al Golden, you know, Chris Ash. They leave NFL jobs to come work for this guy, a young boy. You feel me? Yeah. I think Lane hires well as well. Like I'm not gonna like Lane hires really well. Like the name, you know, he's football royalty. You feel me? Lane grew up in this thing, so you just can't go wrong with either one of them guys. We don't have to nitpick and compare them. We just know if we get either of those two right there, we're in business.
The one other thing I'll say though, and I've heard you say it too, I've said it, is that your best teams at the University of Florida is high-powered offense. Lane's going to bring that to you. And the thing about it too is he's going to put the ball in the air. Jackson Dart last year, just huge arm. I watched him in the swamp. I know he made a couple of mistakes, but I've been very big on, I think that DJ Lagway under Lane, Tramel Jones under Lane, even Will Griffin coming in. Will Griffin's basically all but said that it doesn't matter who's here. He's a Gator. He's been a Gator since a young buck. I think him in a Lane Kiffin offense would just feed families and do numbers. Personally, if Lane comes, I'm cool with him keeping Ron Roberts around. Like, let's keep the defense going. But if you keep Dallas,
he need to bring Pete Golden. What do you mean? Get Roberts out of here. He can bring that, like, majority of that staff over from Ole Miss. He got a big boy staff, man. Like, he ain't joking over there. So I don't think he'd keep Ron Roberts. I don't think he got to. Lane would just both of those coaches, but Lane would bring in real confidence. This team is missing true confidence. There's a lot of fake bravado in the offseason about spot the ball. And then when they get on the field, you can kind of see this team, talented but young, but also they haven't won like that yet. You can see the uncertainty in a lot of their plays. You've seen a little confidence leave DJ Lagway eyes from like last year and the start of this year. So I think Lane would just infuse like real confidence. I think he's going to be respected with his play calling, etc. It just puts the world on notice, man. You got to get one of those two guys. Only thing, like with Freeman, who's his OC? Because I don't like the offense at Notre Dame.
Yeah.
But there's some smoke. Like Dan put a tweet out today about Florida. Something that's being considered is going to get a big time coach, and then also spending a few $1 million on an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. Like the money talk, it's sounding like they're ready to go all in and get even more serious about football, because University of Florida is serious about football. They just got an unserious coach right now.
Yeah, I think it really does. History repeats itself, and it's hard because I've really preached on. I think we all look for that. I think that's why when Urban Meyer's name gets tossed in the mix, still everybody looks to go back to that 06, 08 team, and I'm like, do I think he can still coach? Yes, but it's such a different time frame. Like, it's such a different time now, and is he going to older Meyer, is he going to give the same thing that young Meyer did? But looking at this team, right, we saw Zook build a squad. We saw Zook got players there. And I think that's what Billy's done. It's just Billy has no idea what to do with it. I've been very big on he's got chess pieces and he's trying to play checkers with him. It makes no sense. Like, I'm like,
he's trying to play dominoes with him.
Yeah, he's doing, I don't know what he's trying to do. Like, it's crazy to me. And that's why I'm like, this has to be an appealing job. It has to be.
Of course Lane, it is.
Yeah,
of course it is.
And and I know everyone too looks at it and they're like, oh, well, Lane said he wanted to be Spurrier. Bro, I'm telling you right now, when you wanted to be somebody and you have that opportunity to wear the same thing they did, to rock that same stuff, you still got that. There's old people that still have that little kid in them that it's like, you saw this, you idolized this, you wanted to be that. Go now.
See it, but Lane, all the Lane train has been saying how serious Lane. We're about to see how serious Lane is with considering this job. So the man crush that a lot of people have on him, we're gonna figure it all out right now this fall. Because neither one is gonna be an easy pull. Yeah. Like you're trying to pull, especially Notre Dame. You're pulling. I know people say, why would he want to lead Notre Dame? It's pros and cons. Like Notre Dame's a tough job, especially when you're trying to, fill your roster out with just straight up killers. It's easy to get a good starting lineup at Notre Dame, but like their limitations with who they can bring on campus, because a lot of their it's school is tough, like academically, and also it's Catholic. It's a lot of certain cloth you got to be about yourself to go to Notre Dame. They're just not camping out in South Florida. I'm pretty sure like Sider feels a little crippled out there with how he normally comes to Florida and South Florida, Dade County, Palm Beach, and grab certain kids. You can't do that out there, man. It's just different. It's the SEC. Les Miles left for a reason. When Les Miles was leaving Notre Dame, he was considering Florida and LSU, the two jobs that were open. Florida just locked in on Billy Napier, and the rest is history. It is what it is. But I think there's a lot to be desired, professionally, not having to travel outside of Chicago, Illinois area, to go find recruits. There's no homegrown talent there. So you got to get on the road a lot. Florida, if you recruit in the state of Florida, all recruiters got to travel, but you travel a little bit easier when you just, driving an hour down the road to see the best player, 2 hours down the road to see the best players in the country, instead of trying to get on a flight to go chase your entire recruiting board, because Notre Dame recruits nationally, not regionally like we do. We'll get some kids nationally, but for the most part, we hang out in the Southeast because it's just common sense. So, weather, a lot of different things, bro. It's just different. It's the SEC. It's big boy football. So I think there's some attraction in that on that capacity. But either way, if Florida's coming in with a lot of money, I just don't think it comes down to money. Like, everybody's talking money. I think if you're going out to Freeman or Lane at this point, it's got to be who can get me to a national championship. How can I win and set myself up to be a part of this new age of coaches, like at the forefront of, because we're just embarking on new names, new faces, etc. How do I, leave my fingerprints on the game? Yeah, and that decision is going to be made like basically on that, because every school is going to be willing to pay these guys at this point.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we're not going to fully know, but what do you think a contract? We go get either of those two guys, Lane or Freeman. What do you think a contract for one of them to agree to come to the University of Florida is? Like, what do you think?
I mean, Sig just got 11.
11, right? 11.6 or something. I can't remember what he got.
I wouldn't be surprised just get into like 14, 15 like range, man. Cause Ole Miss is going to up the ante, right? They're gonna go crazy. But I think the support staff budget and resources, how much you're willing to pay a coordinator. Like, if I give you $14 million or something crazy, and if I tell you I give you, $3 million for an offense coordinator, $3 million for a defensive coordinator, I'm just throwing numbers out. Like, nobody told me this. That's attractive as well, because you go hire the best of the best. Now, if you tell me I'm giving you $14 million and your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator budget is 1.5 a piece, that's still good, but it's not gonna go get you the top tier staff to go win a national championship and have one of the better staffs in the country. The better staffs in the country are paying coordinators now $2.5–3 million, bro. Like, you got to spend that bag. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I'm cool with. There's a couple things, like, say Freeman does come. I'd love to see Freeman go get like North Texas's, get their head coach and bring him to be an OC. I think people look at it and go, why would he want to go from being a head coach to being an OC? Because he's going from North Texas to the University of Florida. Like, that's a resume builder in and of itself.
And it's like you get a few $1 million to do it, and like you just got to up the ante a little bit. Like,
yeah, you're gonna have to pay a little more.
Yeah,
but I think that's where I'm looking at is I don't want to see no G5. Don't even bring a G5 in here. I don't want to see it. I like Alex Golesh. I think he can be good in the future, but I think 6, 7. I think he's good now, but I don't see him, like, for example, I could see if, like, we go take Lane. I could see Ole Miss going to get in Golesh. You still keep the offensive side to it. It's a good fit for him to go there.
They'd be better off trying to keep Pete Golden.
Yeah, but I don't want him to.
Me neither. But if I'm Ole Miss, I would do that rather than go get Golesh. I would try to retain Pete Golden in some capacity.
Yeah, I guess that's how I'm looking at it. Is I got a list, and I'll wait until it's official that Billy's gone. Like I said, at the end of the day, a lot of people, I see so many people like, oh, I'm pulling for Mississippi State so we can get this official. I cannot. It's just not in my blood to do that. I can't do it. I will cheer for this team until the wheels fall off. But
I'm cheering for USC this weekend though. I need.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for USC. Whoever Ole Miss is playing, I'm cheering for them. I don't care. They just lost. Y'all still want them? Yes. There is no perfect coach out there, but if we get the right fit, right recruiting, all that, you just got to catch fire in college football and momentum. Like, every coach can't win at every school. Like, it takes you being at a program that fits you. It's like getting drafted in the NFL. Like, who draft you matters. Like being in the right situation. Lane at UF isn't Lane at Ole Miss. It's like Lane at Ole Miss wasn't Lane at FAU. Like, every stop is going to be different for him. You feel me? And I think it's a good fit. Like, just per fit wise, it's a lot that I don't like about Lane, but just coaching style, cachet, he fit. You know, offensive style, he fit. He understands the culture of Florida football. He fit in those regards, you know. So, and then traditionally, he's an offensive guy at the top, at the helm. You know, Marcus Freeman, he don't fit from that standpoint as far as being a defensive minded guy at the top. We just never won in that capacity. Not saying we can't, but we just never done it. And who he hires as an OC is going to be my first, you know, just what my eye on after he gets the job, because what going on at Notre Dame isn't a fit for how we want to see football at the University of Florida. It's more Midwest football, and you got to go spread, getting out in space, speed, getting vertical, all that type of stuff. So there's no perfect hire though.
No, and there's never going to be. And I think that's what, like, so many people see somebody lose and instantly their brain, like, they just turn off from, oh, they lost, I don't want them. Oh, they lost, I don't want them. And I'm like, you got to look at something. There is, just because that coach lost a game at, say, Ole Miss, we'll keep using Lane as that example. If you have Lane lose at Ole Miss, but it's like, well, there's still certain players, certain pieces he needs, you cannot go get, like, there's a lot of Florida talent, a lot of Florida football players that do not want to travel to Oxford, Mississippi. I don't care how good his offense is. They're like, no, I want to try to stay here. Yeah, they may have their hand forced and have to leave because they're like, I want to better my career. But you bring Lane or even Freeman down to Florida, you're getting more talent. I've been raised on it, and it's one of the realest things ever.
We get Freeman, bro. Like, I'm telling you, bro, y'all could cancel Christmas. Like, everybody could cancel Christmas. We get Freeman.
Either of them. I said there's
no either what. But recruiting wise, like, we're just talking recruiting. Like, we're gonna ball out with Lane, and I think one thing I like about Lane, where we're lacking that, he's gonna get aggressive. His philosophy is different. He's gonna get aggressive in the portal to go get, you know, immediate help. He's not waiting to build and win later. If there's something he think we're lacking at, he's gonna be aggressive with filling that need. So the recruiting is gonna be different. But as far as straight up high school recruiting in that fashion, because he's bringing Sider along with him, you know, and a whole lot of other things, bro. Like, we would absolutely crush it with Freeman on the recruiting trail, like, for sure.
I'd love Sider to be back here. I'll go pack his bags and get him here tomorrow.
Oh, he want to be back in Florida, trust me.
Oh, I'm sure.
He definitely want to be back in Florida.
He's not meant for that cold up there. He needs to come on back down here. But I think that's a big thing too. It's just, again, you've said it, and it's just known. Again, I've heard Primetime say it when he went on a visit and it was freezing cold, and he's like, "No, I'm not coming here. Like, it snows here, I'm not coming here." And that's what it is. You're telling me that some of this South Florida talent is going to go up to Notre Dame where it snows, where it's freezing up there, and go, no chance. Like, that's why when you see any of the
culture, it's the culture of Notre Dame too. It's just it's a Catholic university, and it's just different. You know, it's not it's not going to UF. It's not going to Florida State, Miami, your traditional college. It's a different vibe. It's still college, but it ain't the same. And when you got the spotlight on you in 2025, camera phones, everything else, I don't think most kids from Florida will be a culture fit out there.
Yeah. I think that no matter what, we're going to – I hate to say this because that's actually going to be untrue. But I think if you get some of these top 3 or 4 guys that we've been talking about, it's going to be a massive improvement. So I think that's where people are like, for example, Franklin, right? Me personally, I don't even want to get to Franklin. Let's just get to those 2, and then we ain't got to worry about it. But if we do get Franklin, I don't think Gators fans are going to be upset about that, because what we've dealt with the last 4 years.
Somebody's going to be upset, JB.
Well, they're going to be upset. Okay, let me take that.
Talking about the Gator fan base, somebody's going to be upset.
Someone's going to be.
What I mean Gator going to be hot.
When he starts winning, it's going to get different. And I think he's the same way, though, right? We've seen the product he's put on the field. But again, you got to try to recruit these athletes to come up to Penn State. It snows there. It's freezing there. Bro, you're not getting some of these Florida boys.
He well at Penn State for what Penn State is. Like, that's another thing. He had Penn State recruiting-wise at, like, the highest they've ever been. But for what Penn State being where they at, yeah, he did very well recruiting. Like, Franklin would kill it not to be racist or anything, but any black head coach, bro, they dealing with black players. Like they're gonna do well. It's not even race, it's just relatability. Good recruiters, you know, they relate to the players well, bro. So it's just not a secret. Any that's why, you know, most staffs are like majority black, bro. It's just relatability, bro. It works, it helps.
Well, and you know what? It's funny too, because I've talked about this before. And it does matter your upbringing. A big thing is, like, for example, if it's Brian culture. Kelly if he can recruit to LSU, I think Freeman, Lane, like, they're going to be able to recruit to Florida. And the reason I say it is because this has been a big thing. I know it sounds so silly when I say it, but if you come down here and you're trying to recruit Florida athletes, you got to be able to know how to say "jit" or something. You got to be able to, like,
you got to understand the culture. You just got to like, you're in the South, right?
Yeah.
Knowing just hospitality, you know, how to greet people. It's just culture wise. You got to understand the culture to be able to recruit well. It just matters, bro. Like certain coaches, like the Midwest and the South somewhat is, you know, they have some hospitable things that, you know, that correlate. So Urban was good in that capacity, but Urban was just the ultimate salesman. But you got to understand culture, like how to go into these living rooms, how to speak to people, moms, aunts, who to approach, you know, in the family in a certain way. So all of that's just necessary. Like, I don't think I don't think Brian Kelly is a good coach to fit at LSU. He just recruits nationally and doesn't really try to get into the heart of Louisiana with how he recruits. But I don't think he's a good coach fit. I think he's an oddball out there. Some of the fans out there wanted Billy for that culture fit standpoint, you know, with him having Louisiana ties, with coaching out there in the G5. But and I also think Brian Kelly isn't going to stick at LSU. I think he got one more year, and that's why it's good we're making a hire this year, so we won't have to compete with LSU again next year. But I think Brian Kelly gonna crash out here soon and be out of a job next year.
Yeah, I mean, he can go back to Notre Dame when we take Marcus Freeman. That's all right. He can go right back to
me.
But
feel me?
I think that's where I'm looking at it too, is you got to get – we know this. Like, obviously you have – and we know what Lane is. Everybody's like, well, Lane uses the transfer portal. Like, yeah, he has to. He's in Oxford, Mississippi. Like, what do you think? Yeah, he can recruit some, but it's not going to be the same here. It's not going to be what it is there. But again, like you said, you have to know how to come down here. You got to know how to talk to people. To be honest,
Lane's been in Florida his whole career. Like Tennessee, he was snatching New Keith Richardson. Then he was down to FAU. He's intertwined in the state of Florida very heavily, bro. Like he has relationships, so he understands the culture.
Stephen Harris said that he closed every Urban Meyer deal. He probably did. Let's get you on the staff and get you out there recruiting for us.
What up, Steve? What up, Fragrance Journey? Shout out to everybody in the comment section. Y'all smash the like button, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to JB. You know, if you ain't a gator, you gator bait, bro. We hanging out, bro. Like,
listen,
man,
subscribe.
Get great guests.
Moms, your aunties, subscribe on their
all
phone.
of them. Yeah,
all of them. Yeah, you know, that's just kind of, I know we're all in the same, you know, in the same boat there. I've looked into Rhett Lashley. I like him too. I think that he would fit. I think he's kind of like a sleeper pick. I think he's the one that no matter what, I think if it's not one of those two, it's going to be real. I mean, everyone's going to be mad. Lane gets hired, someone's going to be mad. Freeman gets hired, someone's going to be mad. But
for sure, it's just human nature.
Yeah, you got to get someone in. I think Rhett Lashley might be one of those guys who is a big time sleeper. Everybody's like, why? And then he gets here and it's like, oh, I love this guy. And it's like, no, I'm gonna keep receipts on some of these people.
He got so much imagination in that offense. He's winning early in the ACC, made to the ACC championship game, competing in it again this year. Recruits good for them being SMU. I think there's a lot to be desired. He was at Miami for a little bit, so he understands the rivalry culture. Same thing with Dillingham. He was at Florida State for a little bit, so he understands Florida culture and whatnot. Similar to him as well. There's a lot of imagination in his offense, both young. Both were solid recruiters. I like both of those guys. The conversation start leading to them. I don't want guys the safe hires like Brent Key. I like Brent Key as a head coach, but I wouldn't want him as my coach. Would it be safe? Yes, but like there's a lot of unknowns about him because he's not a play caller. And if we take him, most likely Georgia Tech is going to keep the offensive coordinator as head coach, right? So who is he bringing in? It's just too many unknowns in that world. So yeah, I like Dillingham. And I like Lashley from that standpoint. I think they're young, innovative play callers.
Yeah. I think the two that have really been tossed around that I'm like, please no, is Brent Key and Eli Drinkowitz. I think that Drinkowitz could come here and I think he could make a little something happen. But I just feel like yeah, he's just kind of weird. And I hate to say that. And I think that's another big thing with like Mullen. I think that's another reason why Mullen, in a sense, couldn't fully recruit, which is crazy that he couldn't recruit. I'm like, bro, you had the blueprint. You got to watch that.
You ever been around him?
Yeah. I met him. I met him in Sebring, actually, Sebring, Florida. And I left there and I was like, I met him and Todd Grantham. And I was like,
yeah,
what is this? Like, I watched him recruit a D lineman from Sebring. And I'm like, there's no way that this works. Like, I don't know how this is working out. Yeah. But those are just two that I'm like, I don't really want them at the University of Florida. But again, I think anyone's better than what we got right now. Like, this is just sad.
Yes. I don't know how he got the job. I don't know what he said in the interview. Like, I'm interested because Strickland just didn't talk to anybody else. He just locked in on Billy, and that was it. Like, the guy has never in his life had a great offense or a good offense. It just never has been that. Any stop that he's been at, there's nothing that went on to say Billy's going to be, a championship offense and win big time football games. That's just never the product he's put on the field. Like I said, he's a program builder, a good recruiter. I think he's a good leader of men. If it's the Boy Scouts or if it's maybe Youth Friday at the church, like great leader of men. But to me, he wants to be the players' friends more than he want to win. Like, the players liking him means a lot to him. You feel me? And I think that's more important to him than actually winning and, holding football players and just young people accountable it comes with, being the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, if you got children, you leading the football team, you holding somebody, young men accountable. It takes, especially at the high level of football, screaming in somebody's face and telling them to sit their sorry ass down. Like, that just comes with it at some point.
Yeah.
I have to tell my son that he's playing football. Like, daddy not about to come save you if the coach is in your grill cursing you out, bro, because that comes with this game, bro. Like, if you're going to play at a high level, it's high level accountability as well. That's the only way to get to greatness is just stern, tough accountability. And I think he wants to be liked more than he wants to win. I think that's important to him, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I think everyone's mindset is like a few different things. They're like, well, we should have hired Lane right after we got rid of Mullen. Like, we should have went and got Lane. And it's like, what do you think Lane would have did in that time frame, in that time period? What do you think he would have did with the locker room that was carrying over that Mullen brought in? Like, I think it would have been a fail, and I think it would have been a bad experiment. And I honestly feel like we'd probably be in the same area. And, like Steve said in the comments, Billy came in and he built a roster. Like, everyone knows that. He built a squad here, and there's depth here. That's why we're losing people on defense, and people are filling right in. And yeah, that's some schemes and different things like that. Yeah. But now, when you get a competent coach in here, someone that really knows what they're doing, and I hate to say it, but you said it right. Like, these are still young dudes. Like, they're in college. Like, anybody, think about anyone that's in here. If you're older than the college age, think about yourself in college. Like, bro, you were a knucklehead. There are a bunch of knuckleheads. I don't care. They're making millions now. Cool. They're still knuckleheads. You got to be able to get onto them because you're that fatherly figure. You're not a best friend to them. You got to get onto them. And sometimes it sucks. Like, yeah, it's not fun to yell. I don't like yelling at my son. It sucks to do that. But sometimes you got to do it. You got to raise your voice. You got to kind of put your foot down, because if not, they're not going to learn. And that's the thing with Billy, is that they're taking on his demeanor. You can tell with every one of them. They go talk in the press conference. They all sound like him. Every last one of them. Like, there's no fire. None. Like, I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't think like accountability means you got to even scream. I'm not saying Lane, like somebody to come in saying, like, I don't need him to be a hard ass, but you're not going to continue to make mistakes and stay on Lane Kiffin's field. Like, he's just not from that tree, and to be able to win, like Lane's going to keep the hot hand in that quarterback, no matter what the preseason status of whoever that is. If he's on quarterback 3 and quarterback 3 is hot, he's not going to play the political game of just playing the guy just because he's a senior or he's an older guy and he was next. No, he's going to play the absolute best guy. If he brings in guys in the transfer portal, the quarterback position is going to be 100% wide open. That type of accountability is what I'm talking about. It's like per competition, like the best man is going to play. And if I don't think you're even good enough to start, then I'm going to get aggressive in the portal to get somebody to come replace you. Like that type of accountability. Right now, bro, you have like offensive linemen that have been whiffing for 3-4 years. And they just still got a job and they still wasn't replaced in the portal. Like that's not accountability. That's, that's just not championship football caliber stuff like that, bro. And that happened like every single year. I could point to different positions, different players where players were just still at spots like Jordan Castell. No shots at him, but the mistakes he's made, bro, you got to see the bench and, think about it a little bit. Let's try somebody else out to that spot, bro, because right now, you're not making it happen, bro. And you're in year 3. So that type of accountability.
Yeah, I agree. It's just, and who knows? Like, I think there's different coaches that do different discipline. I do think, like was said in the comments, like Lane throwing his clipboard or just like even getting after the refs. Like, I think that shows you when they're getting at the refs because something happened. Like, it shows you, oh yeah, my coach is riding for me. Like, he's got my back. Whereas, like, again, with Billy, like, I just don't see at the Texas game, I think it's the first time I've seen any type of spunk out of him. Like, I was like, oh.
You could be a player's coach, right? You could be a player's coach and still have accountability. The players are going to respect you more for that than anything. Urban Meyer was a player's coach. But if you wasn't playing and balling, he's going to tell you that you're not playing and balling and you got to, like Ahmad, so he's going to throw you in the 35 and tell you he made a mistake giving you, a scholarship offer. He ain't trying to be a jerk, but he's trying to pull the best out of you, bro. So, and the players still loved him, right? They played for him. They died for him. So, like, you could be a player's coach and not, be a people pleaser. You feel me? It's a difference.
Yeah. People tend to, especially when you're young, you tend to push towards some type, and especially because, like, these are college kids. Just some of them last year, they were at home in the comfort of their own home and their own bed. Now they're away from home, whether it be going from Jacksonville to Gainesville, Miami to Gainesville, or even Texas over to Gainesville. Like, they need that type of role model. They need some type of parent figure, which is like, again, I just don't think they get that from Billy. But you got to keep. I can't. It's crazy if we keep this team intact and we get some type of competent coach. Like, I'm like, there's no reason we don't do something next year. Like, I'm trying not to lie already before anything happens, but I can't help it. You keep this team intact. It's insane to me what this next coach could do.
Hey, truly. Edward, in the comments, I appreciate no players getting arrested, but we don't really cheer for clean police records, bro. We try and win football games, man.
Yeah.
This is not the Boy Scouts, man. I appreciate them not getting in trouble, but that's what they're supposed to do. They don't supposed to get in trouble. They should be, outstanding citizens and do things the right way, etc. So that comes with it. But we got to win football games, man. I appreciate Billy for keeping the police record clean, but it's just not a stat that goes down in the history books, man. When they put the banners on the wall, they're never going to hang a banner that says, went 3 years with no arrest.
Yeah. Also, real quick, shout out to Dylan. Come check out our Monday show. We're going to get it back kicked up this week. But to be honest with you, there was a couple of guys arrested, right, in the offseason?
Yeah, they beat the Chargers.
And it's no knock on them, but I'm saying, like, they were, like, I just think that that stuff don't matter. Like, we're trying to win football games. So, again, 08 got in trouble a lot, and they still, made it happen. But I just, man, I don't know. But we'll move on from that. But before I let you go, I just want to get your take on this Mississippi State game tomorrow. What do you think needs to happen? What are you looking at to happen out there, and what do you need to see? I'm hoping no matter what comes.
These guys. They've been just known to play for him when Billy's back is against the wall. So I expect that type of effort, but I'm a little hesitant because it's different right now. It's loud. It's a lot of reports coming out. I'm pretty sure the players are seeing this stuff. They're talking about it. It has to be addressed at some point. So I don't know what type of team we get, but the Mississippi State defense is stingy. Just looking at it on paper. Then they got something crazy like 8 defensive touchdowns or something outlandish, maybe 11 defensive touchdowns. It was a crazy stat. Mm-hmm. They may have more fourth quarter touchdowns than our offense, to be real with you. So stingy defense. The Swamp just always has this thing, and it's gonna be loud. It's homecoming. It's gonna be rowdy. And they give us one a year. I think this is just one the Swamp is gonna give us. I like the way DJ Ladway has been, just getting better every week. I think that trend continues. I think Mississippi gives up like 160, 70 yards on the ground every week. So it's a big opportunity for ball. It's a lot of things in our favor, for us to win this football game. I think the spread is like at 10 points. You feel me? I think we win. I just don't think it matters anymore.
Yeah, I don't think it matters either. I think I really do want to go see. I like, to be brutally honest, I do think that Billy is a good guy. Like, if you dislike Billy from the stance of like who he is as a person, I'm like, that's your football eyes or football goggles, like playing you with this guy, because he is a real good guy. And if tomorrow is his last game, win or lose, I'd love to see him carry him off the field. I don't care. Ball out, get a win.
Right out on DJ Slaughter's shoulder.
Yeah.
Pause.
But yeah, I'm like, I don't care how it gets done. Like I said, I'm not pulling against the Gators, but I would like to see. Of course, we want to see 6 ball out. That's always. It does worry me that a lot of people were running all over A&M, and I feel like that was just something we could never get going. I'm waiting on. Is it today or is it tomorrow morning that the final
availability
comes out? Because I know Cormani's been on there. Is he good to go, or do you know?
I haven't heard. I will have to ask. Like, man, nobody's just been chasing down availability information. Everybody's just on the hunt for. Coaching fire and rumors and smoke. So I'm not sure we are injury wise. I think we do need Cormani out there. I thought it was the lack of rotating. I want to see Ben Hanks and some of the young boys at corner. I'm surprised he's not sprinkling them in to get some reps here and there.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised we're not seeing Hayward back there at safety and like more, because I think that like you said, no offense to 14, but he just, I feel like his freshman year, I was like, oh, we got us one. And then just each year now it just keeps dropping down.
We can say that about a lot of players, brother. We can say that about Dallas. Not Dallas. We can say that about Eugene. Hell, we were saying it about Lagway for a little minute as well. Like, there's a lot of freshmen that come here, ball out. ETN a little bit. Like, he never really, hit that, I would say, just development and take off to another level after his very promising freshman year. First game of the year, he just goes crazy. And then he ends up transferring. So a lot of young talent hasn't, hit that next level like they're supposed to under Billy's watch. Our best receivers have came through the transfer portal. As many talented wide receivers we had come in, none in year 4, that we're going into after this draft, like who's came in as a freshman, as a receiver that's going to get drafted, and it's just nobody.
Yeah. This is another thing I've said too, is because a lot of people are like, well, we should probably give Billy, like, we should give him one more try, because look,
who said that?
Well, I've been seeing on the timeline. It's not you, I know that.
Tell him to report to the town square.
Yeah, but people have been saying it.
Or stoning. We're gonna stone him.
Well, they look at Dallas Wilson. They look at Bernal Brown.
13th century stoning, man.
Get him out of here. But no, what's crazy is they say that, and I'm like, you tell me something. If this man is this amazing recruiter we're talking about, why are we riding the heels of 2 true freshmen? And I get it, we got some other talent out there, but it's because the other ones have went downhill since they got here. Eugene Wilson, when he got here, was a stud. Everyone, I know it's super easy to compare someone to Percy Harvin. No one's like Percy Harvin. I don't think anyone ever will be. But you see them drop. You see them lose that talent. But it's just mind-blowing to me that we're riding on the backs of true freshmen to catch that ball and to move us down the field. And a lot of people are like, oh, Vernell Brown should have caught that pass against USF. And I'm like, bro, I don't think he's seen a look that whole game. That was over 10 yards. So he gets one at 12 yards. Of course he's going to drop it. He ain't got that look. But yeah, as for my pick on the game, I think we win 38-17. That's just what I think we go out there and ball for him. As for what comes Sunday, I guess we'll see.
Let's see.
no idea what's gonna happen. But yeah, man. Real quick before I get off here, Rolling with Carlos. His YouTube channel is Rolling with Carlos. I got a show dropping with him tomorrow. It's the College Pick'em. It drops at 10 a.m. tomorrow, so go check that out and subscribe to his channel. Go follow Corey on X. Subscribe to Stadium and Gale. Subscribe to Flow Factory.
For sure.
This man's putting all the podcasts out.
So, sure. And if you're in Gainesville tomorrow, man, link up with us over by the law school. Also, go subscribe to Breakfast with the Gators, my guys, their Stadium and Gale podcast. But I'm gonna be hanging out with those guys over by the law school. If y'all want to come by, throw a shot back, show up on time because I don't drink a lot of shots. So if you miss the shot, you just miss it. I'm just not gonna drink another one.
Continue flowing.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw it out, and act like I had a shot, after one or two. But now come hang out with us. If you see me, don't be afraid to say hello. It should be a lot of love. Shout out to everybody that's pulling up. It should be packed out there, bro. We excited. We got 2 wins, and me and my son excited to jump up early in the morning and get on the road like 4 or 5, bro. So, we love this orange and blue thing, bro. So we just got to get the right guy to reciprocate that love and get us to, wins, man, and success. We used to be kings, bro.
A lot of people look at this and go, why are we showing up? We got to stop showing up to games. Bro, they're going to show up. And these other coaches see it. They see that.
If the fire and smoke went out there, JB, I wouldn't be showing up. I'm going to be honest with you, bro.
Once the fire and smoke be there in the ambiance to feel it.
Yes, I'm going to wear all black, just like Billy wear all black. I'm coming to a funeral.
I might just put on my suit tomorrow or on Sunday.
I might put on the suit too, JB.
I might have to. Might have to break out the suit. I'm not gonna lie to you. I got a confetti popper ready to pop that thing to cheer. I'm so excited. I'm gonna make a whole mess in this room right here in my house. But
change is on the way. I like that wall back there. You got gator skin on the wall. That look fire.
Yeah. Bro. It's gator skin, some wallpaper, and then we threw up the pictures. Honestly, shout out to my wife. She did all this. I can't even.
Yeah, she snapped. She snapped back there. She killed it. Pause.
She told me, she was like, "We got to make this professional." Shout out to her. She let me use the wall and everything.
There you go, bro. There you go, dog. So you gotta, she's the COO, bro.
Exactly.
She's making executive decisions in the right manner, bro. That's tight. I like that. That's dope.
Appreciate it, bro. Yeah, threw the pictures up there. Got Tebow over here, Major Right, Walt's over here. You can't see some of them until it's full screen, but
you took the Billy down.
Oh, bro, Billy's trash can. I've been saying I'm gonna wear my Fire Billy shirt, but I just feel like I don't know if that's a good idea. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, real quick. I just want to let you know I gotta give a shout out, Steve. I had your picture to go in here. Swear on my life, you can. My best friend printed these pictures for me. I have a picture of you against Georgia. You're kneel down on the ground holding the flag. And I had that picture going there. And when he printed it, it was like this big. And I'm like, bro, I'm going to put that in here to go up on the screen. No one's going to see that. So I got more pictures.
You got the wallet size of Steve?
Yeah, bro. I was like, I can't lie.
You got to put it in your wallet, bro.
I stole them off Google. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to lie. But no, yeah, bro. I appreciate you hanging out with me.
No problem, man.
Like we said earlier, smash the like button, share this out there, subscribe. Everything helps, man. I'm trying to see the growth in here. So I appreciate all y'all. But I appreciate you, Silk, for always coming on, always been on
anytime.
Last minute.
Delator, I don't know if you saw the last day in Miguel, but Nick said hit him up, bro. Like he's supposed to get on your show, and I guess you guys didn't make it happen, but
yeah, I commented on there. I saw it.
Oh, you commented?
I commented. I was like, I won't ask you too hard of questions unless Billy gets tired. No, I'll play you some hard ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, bro, I appreciate you coming on. Yeah, I'd love to link up with him. I'm trying to get him on. So I appreciate that. Hey, Steve, bro, listen, I got to tell you something. I don't know who's worse at checking DMs. It might be you. It might be Silk. I don't know. One of y'all's worse, but
that's why I shot you my phone number, bro. Like my DMs would be absolute crazy. It'd be hate mail. It'd be like just weirdness. It'd be a lot of things going on.
Yeah,
so I just don't even open them. And I random open it and like, hey, bro, here's my phone number, man. Because I'm not gonna be in these DMs, bro.
Yeah.
Have you had Dan on the show?
Yeah, I had Dan on the show.
I had
Dan
on the show. Okay.
I think I had him right before. Is it right before this? I don't know when I had him on a few weeks ago, like 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
So yeah, that was a good show. Yeah, bro.
If you need some sources, you got to get Dan on these days, bro. Dan got the sources, bro.
I know. I need to get mine. He might be the source. I think he might have leaked it, honestly.
He said he's
taking pictures at UF and all. I'm like, all right, bro, I see.
They say, you know how it went from 4 to 1? They said it was really 4 people, but Dan told Hugh and Gary to sit in the car. He got it.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Billy.
I'll leave the car running. I'll crack the windows for you. I'm gonna go talk to him real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah.
This is gonna be leave the car running, guys. I'll be right.
Turn the AC up. Here's some music. I'll be back.
Let me drop this ultimatum real quick, man.
Crazy, bro. Like I said, I mean, my plan is to go live. I might go live after the game. I don't know, give a reaction, but I'm telling you right now, if something goes down on Sunday, you can come right here to this YouTube channel and you can find it.
Y'all have to figure out who y'all want to show.
Put them all up. Put all the screens up.
Yeah, we on standby. Like
you can come in and watch me pop the confetti, and then you can do what you want with that after. But I'm definitely making a mess of it.
I'm not gonna pop the champagne to make the hire, because if I pop champagne and they go hire, some raw, like.
I'm telling you right now, we go hire Lane or we go hire Freeman, I will pop champagne and then I'll mop it up and I'll deal with my wife being mad at me after I make the floor sticky.
Yeah, we gotta throw that. Wife gotta throw that wham in the circle, bro. We hire Lane, Freeman. It's gonna be a wild night, baby.
Bro, hanging out. I'm gonna tell so many lies if we get one of them too. Oh my goodness. But yeah, bro, I appreciate you coming on. Like I said, y'all like this, share this. The link for the merch is down there. Go get your merch. And like Stokes said, go hang out with him if you're in Gainesville tomorrow. I'm unfortunately not going to be there, but I appreciate y'all hanging out with us. Y'all know how it is. If you ain't a Gator, y'all know the rest.
Already.